Hi, everyone. My name is Illena Armstrong, and I am the president of Cloud Security Alliance. We're so glad to have you for our annual Cloud Threats and Vulnerabilities Summit. And we're facing some challenging times. There have been a number of conversations that I've been having with a number of C-level industry buddies, talking about how it's almost as if they're feeling a bit under siege. You've got this wider political, socio-economic kind of frame from which we're all working. And then you have the challenges of how bad actors, state-sponsored bad actors, cybersecurity or cyber criminals are leveraging AI and other tools to launch myriad attacks. On top of just trying to maintain a strong cloud security posture. It's just we're looking at some challenging times, but even in those moments of more peaceful junctures, it's always good to strategize and then to act accordingly. And that's what we've been talking about over the last day, and we'll continue to talk about over the next, over today. It's this idea of making sure that you're prepped and ready, and you're continually testing your plans and what you would do if you are hit. Now, I know that some folks have probably referenced during the course of our event our top threats report, which we released late 2024. And a number of the issues that we've seen voiced over the years still continue. They usually change in priority, but things like misconfiguration and change controls. Definitely, this idea of not only implementing, but really maintaining an overarching cloud security strategy, testing it, making sure that it's up to date. That continues to be a problem. Obviously, insecure APIs and interfaces, identity access management, which is just one component of an overarching zero trust philosophy and strategy, which is definitely taking hold now among many organizations. It's that idea that you don't trust a device, you don't trust a person, you don't trust an application. You make sure that all of these things are verified and they're supposed to be working as part of your organization. And that's how certainly our ZTAC or Zero Trust Advancement Center. That's we have so many frameworks and guidance that you can use to kind of implement that strategy. But I'll get into that later. So all of these things that we're seeing are still problems, and it's a matter of trying to determine which are really the most impactful, the priorities, and then what you should be doing about it. Even when it comes to cloud breaches, there are the nation state attacks. Ransomware continues to be a problem, advanced phishing, cloud misconfigurations. All of these things plague organizations on the daily. So the impacts are countless, really, and they cover a range of areas: operational, financial, technical, and then, of course, the regulatory landscape. You can see disruptions and downtime. You can have legal and compliance actions taken against you. You can see reputational damage, financial losses last year. Recovering from a ransomware attack averaged 1.5 million, whereas recovering from a data breach costs somewhere in the neighborhood of 4.35 million. And all of the things that fed into these costs included everything from response, recovery, increased cyber insurance premiums, and then, of course, just trying to make sure that you retain your client's trust because of those loss, the cyber breach and the data loss. One problem that often isn't necessarily talked about is not only data loss from breaches, but also corruption of data. And we're seeing that in recent news, even with large language models and some AI tools, in the sense that some state bad actors have infiltrated these models with misinformation and disinformation, which then begs the question, well, what are you getting when you type in those prompts with an AI tool? Are you getting accurate information? So these are all of the impacts. And of course, organizations have to prepare accordingly. And that, as part of that sort of overarching cloud strategy and cybersecurity plan, you have to ensure that you have a robust response plan and that it's being tested. whether it be through tabletop exercises, you're doing pen testing, etc. You also need to have cloud visibility to manage your cloud workloads, to manage your assets. That's where this zero trust model can really come into play. It also helps with business continuity and disaster recovery. And then making sure that you're just deploying all the technical best practices and security controls to really have a strong view of what's going on in your cloud environments, and usually multi cloud environments, and what assets are needing protection. One way to do this is to not only make investments in things like cyber insurance, and not only invest time and resources in establishing a very strong resiliency posture whereby when you are under attack, you're still able to maintain your operations. It's working with vendor neutral, independent entities like Cloud Security Alliance to seize on these frameworks and cloud controls to ensure that your partners are aligning their security best practices with your own. So, most of you know about our Security Trust Assurance and Risk program, which has a freely available and trusted registry that you can go to on the website. You can look up your partners, see if their solutions have gone through a CAKE assessment, a consensus assessment, an initiative questionnaire assessment, or if they've even gone through third party audits that make their ISO and SOC 2 attestations and certifications that much stronger because they're taking into account the cloud controls from our cloud controls matrix, and they're really showing that they're committed to their solutions have followed these very vendor neutral frameworks. And if they're not there on that registry, you can ask them to pursue it and work with an auditor, or in the least get a star level one assessment that shows that they've gone through a self assessment. But in addition to aligning with frameworks like ours and programs like STAR that map to other independent frameworks and work with the likes of NIST and other government entities like CISA and those around the globe, you should also make sure that you're conducting third party security and compliance audits. You have really strong SLAs, and you're paying attention to residency and data sovereignty regulations as well that you'll see when you're operating in different countries. So, right now, when it comes to our STAR registry, we have close to 3,000 or so entries that you can check out. We have been adopted, this program has been adopted by nations all over the globe, whereby they're requiring the cloud service providers, these SaaS providers, and other vendors to at least have a star level one assessment done. And more ideally, work with third party audit firms to show that they've extended their certifications and their attestations like ISO and SOC 2 to account very specifically for cloud security controls. But more than that, we're definitely constantly looking to expand our STAR program. Many of you have participated in the AI controls matrix that we've been working on. It was out for peer review. We brought it back now, and we're going to not only integrate all of the suggestions from the peer review into the end product, we're also going to take a number of different work streams and create things like implementation guidelines and more. And that, of course, leverages your expertise, but also other partners from auditing firms, from certification bodies, from government entities, regulators, and enterprises. So that's one effort that you can continue to monitor and even get involved with. Another is our compliance automation revolution, which is really this continual monitoring of how your organization and its solutions is conforming to security controls that are dictated by regulatory requirements. And not only is it leveraging LLM and generative AI to do this using OSCAL, it's also taking the myriad controls frameworks that are out there and allowing organizations to harmonize all those. So you're eliminating that redundancy and this idea of trying to conform to this compliance mandate and this compliance mandate, and it's done in a very automated AI driven way. So we have a number of key organizations that are supporting this effort and working with us. You can get involved too. You can get involved with our Star for AI program, which is following the same trajectory as our Star for Cloud. You can get involved with CAR. We also have our longstanding initiatives, our CXO Trust and our Financial Services Initiative, for which we have a series of webcasts, podcasts, etc. There's also the Zero Trust Advancement Center, which sees these gifted minds like John Kindervag contributing to our executive committee. And we're constantly releasing guidance and frameworks for OT environments, for SMEs, you name it. More importantly, we want to see you at the RSA conference, which is fast approaching. We'll have our annual summit. I think we're in our 16th year, I want to say, April 28th on the Monday of the RSA conference. And we'll announce yet another big initiative and partnership that we're very excited about, and something else to which you can contribute, you and your organizations can contribute if you'd like. So I encourage you to just engage with us, stay attuned to what's happening in our community, our events like this. Certainly, I'm more active on certain social media platforms than others. LinkedIn's the primary one, and I have created one on Instagram and Blue Sky. Got one on Twitter, but I'm not as active there. So hit me up, drop me a line, or connect with me on LinkedIn, and we can make sure that we're exploring partnerships and how you might be able to continue to work with CSA. In the meantime, I hope you enjoy all of the amazing experts we have lined up for you today to talk about some of the more timely challenges and the considerations that you need to think about when addressing these. Thank you for being here, and I'm looking forward to hearing more from all of you. Take care, everyone.